high in the frozen shadows of the Himalayas, long before the rise of the Tibetan Empire, a civilization shrouded in mystery ruled the roof of the world. This was the kingdom of Shangshung, a realm where spirituality and raw power were one and the same. It was a place where colossal mountains were not just geological formations, but living gods, and where monks trained not only in the stillness of meditation, but in the fierce discipline of combat. For the people of Shangshung, physical strength was the ultimate shield for the soul. Their monasteries were not built on gentle plains, but carved directly into sheer cliffs, often wrapped in swirling clouds, seemingly closer to the heavens than to the earth below. Imagine these structures, clinging to the mountainside like eagles' nests, battered by winds that could strip bone clean. Life here was a constant struggle, a testament to human endurance at the absolute limits of existence. Legends, passed down through the ages and woven into the fabric of Tibetan folklore, speak of the extraordinary abilities of Shangshung's warrior monks. It's said they could traverse treacherous, ice-covered ridges for days on end, without rest or sustenance. They were masters of their own bodies, learning to control their breath in the thin, biting air, to push through unimaginable pain, and to banish fear from their minds. These weren't just men of faith. They were guardians, protectors. Some were believed to watch over sacred texts, scrolls said to be as ancient as the mountains themselves, containing knowledge lost to the rest of the world. But this powerful kingdom, which seemed as eternal as the peaks it called home, was not destined to last. The historical record is sparse, but what we know points to a dramatic decline. Rival powers were rising. The Tibetan Empire, led by ambitious kings, began to expand its influence, casting a long shadow over the high plateau. The year was 645 AD. The Tibetan Emperor Songtsen Gampo, who had already unified much of central Tibet, turned his sights westward, towards the wealth and power of Shangshung. The king of Shangshung at the time was named Ligninsha. Faced with the might of the Tibetan army, he was outmaneuvered and ultimately defeated. The once mighty kingdom was absorbed into the growing Tibetan Empire. Its unique culture, its language, its very identity began to fade. The ancient traditions were either suppressed or assimilated into the new order. The storms of change, both political and perhaps even literal, descended upon the land. Shangshung fell into a deep silence. Its cliffside temples, once echoing with chants and the clash of training weapons, were abandoned to the elements. Snowdrifts piled high, burying entrances and courtyards. The relentless winds howled through empty halls, and monasteries that had stood for centuries began to crumble, their stones collapsing and scattering into the vast, unforgiving landscape. The warrior monks, the guardians of this ancient civilization, vanished from the pages of history. All that remained were whispers, fragmented stories carried on the wind and preserved in the oral traditions of the Tibetan people who came after. What happened to them? Did they flee into even more remote valleys, preserving their knowledge in secret? Did they lay down their arms and integrate into the new society, their warrior lineage slowly forgotten? Or did they make a final, heroic stand, their last moments lost to the snow and the silence? The truth is, we don't know for sure. Shangshung became a ghost kingdom, a historical enigma. But the story doesn't end there. Today, a new generation of explorers, archaeologists, and historians are braving the high-altitude deserts and frozen peaks, searching for the truth. They are driven by the tantalizing possibility of rediscovering this lost world. Every expedition is a gamble, a race against time and the harsh environment. They're re-looking for anything that can shed light on this forgotten civilization. Ancient scrolls hidden in sealed caves, statues of their deities, mysterious symbols carved into rock faces. Each discovery, no matter how small, is a piece of the puzzle. Recently, researchers have found evidence of ancient forts and burial sites that predate the Tibetan Empire. They've unearthed texts written in the distinct Shangshung language, confirming it was a unique and sophisticated culture. These findings suggest that Shangshung was not just a collection of nomadic tribes, but a complex, organized state with its own distinct religion, art, and political structure. The religion of Shangshung was Bon, an ancient spiritual tradition that existed in Tibet before the arrival of Buddhism. While it shares some similarities with Tibetan Buddhism, Bon has its own unique pantheon of gods, rituals, and philosophical concepts. It was the Bon tradition that shaped the warrior monks. They believed that the physical world was intertwined with the spiritual, and that protecting the land and its sacred sites was a holy duty. Their combat training was a form of spiritual practice, a way to cultivate inner discipline and fearlessness. Imagine the training regimen of these monks. They would have practiced in extreme conditions, barefoot on snow, meditating in freezing caves, and sparring on narrow ledges with a 1,000-foot drop just a misstep away. Their martial arts would have been practical, designed for survival and combat in the world's harshest terrain. It would have emphasized endurance, balance, and the ability to generate power in the thin mountain air. It was a system that forged the body into a weapon and the mind into a fortress. These warrior monks were the elite guardians of their kingdom. They were likely responsible for protecting important trade routes that crossed their territory, routes that connected the ancient civilizations of China, India, and Central Asia. The wealth that flowed through Shangshung salt, gold, and other precious commodities would have made it a target for rivals, making a skilled warrior class not just a luxury, but a necessity for survival. As we piece together these clues, a picture of Shangshung begins to emerge from the mists of time. It was a kingdom built on a foundation of spiritual strength and physical prowess. It was a civilization that understood the deep connection between humanity and the natural world, seeing divinity in the very mountains that gave them shelter. And it was home to a group of individuals who pushed the boundaries of human potential, the warrior monks who trained at the top of the world. The search continues. Perhaps one day, a hidden library will be discovered, its scrolls perfectly preserved in the dry, cold air. Or maybe a forgotten monastery will be unearthed from beneath a glacier, its murals and statues telling the story of the monks who lived there. Until then, Shangshung remains one of history's most captivating mysteries, a Himalayan kingdom of warrior monks, a lost civilization waiting to be rediscovered. The whispers of their existence call out to us from the highest peaks on earth, a reminder that even in the most desolate of places, the human spirit can burn incredibly bright. Thanks for joining us on this journey to the roof of the world. If you were fascinated by the lost kingdom of Shangshung, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the forgotten corners of history. Let us know in the comments what other lost civilizations you'd like to see us cover. See you next time.